Number 14 in the FA Cup for Arsenal. Congratulations to them. We will talk about Chelsea. We should do that now because they started the game really well. It feels like a long time ago, doesn't it, that they took the lead in this match?
Yeah, it did, and they started ever so well in this game. The way that Frank set them up, they were pressing high. Arsenal couldn't get out, forcing mistakes. Here, this is a great goal from Chelsea's perspective. Pulisic receives the ball behind the two midfielders for Arsenal. Great touch here from Giroud. That awareness, and Pulisic with a delicate finish. Fantastic.
What's Frank learned today, Joe, that is a good thing going forwards?
Well, whenever you lose a game, Jake, whenever something bad happens, you have to learn from it. You know, you have to take things from it. I think recruitment side of things, I think they're going to have to look at the goalkeeper and the centre halves. I'm not Willy Caballero didn't do nothing wrong today, but you know, if you're going to really challenge for the title, you're going to need a number one of
a
long-term number one. I think the centre halves didn't deal with Aubameyang and Pepe in particular. And I thought, you know, we've seen the emergence of this man, Pulisic, and when he went off, Chelsea, you know, we need more from Callum. We missed it. Callum needed to step up. I mean, Pedro coming and looked quite sharp, but he's going. So, you know, with Ziyech and Werner are coming, so that end of the pitch is sorted. But at the back end of the pitch, there's going to have to be some recruitment and shuffling about because it just wasn't good enough.
If you want to win things, we all know you have to start at the back. Your goalkeeper, your two centre-halves have to be strong, solid, people you can rely on, reliable people, reliable characters that you can count on in times of when you need them, when things aren't going so well. They've conceded 75 goals in 54 games this season. If that's not alarm bells ringing in terms of defensive
Where are you pinning the blame
stability,
for that? Which area of the pitch? Centre-half?
I think the centre-halves. I don't think Frank knows what his best pairing is or his best three. And the goalkeeper, obviously, he's got his huge reservations about the £70 million Kepa. So that's an area there where he needs to get sorted out. As Joe said, he's bought, he's invested, he's recruited up front. I think at the back, if you want to win things, that has to be sorted.
Reid, do you think, when obviously the goalkeeper didn't play today, Kepa, but when you've played with a goalkeeper that doesn't come for crosses, you know, that's not commanding, that's made a few mistakes, I mean, and then the centre-halves start getting doubt, and it's like you have your two centre-halves or three centre-halves on your goalkeeper. It's such an important part of the pitch, and if one of them areas is not working, the confidence drains from the other side of it, because it's all about covering each other and being reliable, and they just... Chelsea just haven't quite found that blend yet.
And once Arsenal found a way, Robin, they kept exploiting it. We saw it for the first goal, for example, didn't we?
Yeah, which shows signs that they can become a great team. Because, like we talked about before, the first 20 minutes were passive, were not great, but they came out of it. They found a new plan by playing more direct. And yeah, today it worked. And Chelsea luck was not on their side, to be fair, because they missed Pulisic in the second half. The red card, in my opinion, is not a red card.
Well, we'll take a look at all of that and speak to Peter.
I'm going too fast.
Well. Yeah? you did fine. You're covering the whole game in 20 seconds. One of the issues was all three of you were up here because we've got this lovely open balcony, and you were shouting down at what you were watching, and it was the same ball catching Chelsea out time after time. If you three can see it, and Rio is rather vocal, why didn't the Chelsea players see it?
That comes from leaders. John Terry would have seen that when he was playing it, and it would have been addressed. He'd have been telling someone to get over there, or the players that were playing at that time who would have had the experience and that character to be able to go, right, there's an issue there, get it sorted. I don't see who on that pitch is shouting at Kurt Zouma. There's two, three, four times the ball's been played in behind Reece James. Someone get yourself across there and deal with it. Don't let it happen no more.
We talked about that during the game, Rio.
Yeah, everyone's passive. There's no communication.
It's like when you play against two centre-backs who constantly communicate, constantly moving forward together, constantly helping each other as an opponent striker, it does go into your head a little bit, you know, because you're playing against a wall. If the two centre-backs are playing like that.
You feel like you're playing two players, not one all the time.
Yeah.
And I think that, sorry, Joe, I just think that... as I said before in half-time, this wasn't a real intricate piece of the puzzle to work out. It's a straight ball, it's one ball. It's not like there's rotations in front of you and people are coming off of you and they're outnumbering you in midfield now. You can't come out as a centre-back. This is one ball over the shoulder, turn, run. You either drop off and you clean it up, or you stay with your man and you say, I'll race you, but you're racing against Aubameyang. They didn't work that out, and for senior players, people with vast experience, Rudiger, in the end, Christensen, Zouma, you've got to sniff that, you've got to know that's coming, you've got to smell it after one or two times it's gone in there. Third and fourth time, it's not going in there because I'm going to stand in there and wait for you, and when you get your head up, you'll see me in that area.
Yeah, it's non-negotiables and it's defensive instinct. And what was telling for me was after we had half time, and Frank would have seen it, and his coaching staff would have seen it, and they would have said, listen, you have to stop Aubameyang when the ball gets turned in behind. And then Kurt, there was a ball about 5 minutes in the second half where Kurt Zouma, and there was a bit of indecision, and no one dealt with it. And I'm thinking, then your alarm bells start ringing, because then that would have been addressed at half time. I'm 100% sure that would have done it. And
we had a couple of players as well in Holland. Daley Blind, for example. Everyone says he's slow, but he's always on time. Frank de Boer, back in the day.
Love it.
He's slow.
Slow, but he's
always on time.
Yeah.
So I think it's about scanning. You have to scan what is happening. The best players, if you look at Lampard, for example, Gerrard, Zidane, all these type of players, they're constantly scanning what is happening around them.
Awareness.
You need awareness.
But you know what?
Like
and people will look at him, fans will go, oh, the manager got it wrong or whatever. I don't believe that's the manager's fault, something like that. That's not tactical, really. That's like a player just understanding your role in the team, you're understanding your job. And they never, ever got to grips with it all game. Aubameyang must have been thinking, wow, these guys aren't even knowing I'm coming. They're not even seeing it. They're not even looking on their shoulder to see I'm here. I've been in it 3 times now, and no one's still there.
I suppose the simple thing is, they spent money going forwards in attacking areas. If they don't solve the problems at the back, can this Chelsea team move forwards under Frank Lampard?
Oh, 100% for sure, because the improvement's been there. If you'd have said at the start of the season, this Chelsea team with a squad they had, all the young players they had, was going to finish 4th, get to an FA Cup final, and it all went wrong for Chelsea today, like decisions and all that, and you know, they didn't nearly get it done, but they was here and they were fighting right to the end. If you'd have said that, people wouldn't have believed you, because you got Leicester, you got Wolves, you got Tottenham, Man United, all these teams. So the future's bright. The future is still bright, but there still needs to be recruitment, there still needs to be investment in the back end of the pitch. And Frank's the man to do that, 100%, no doubt, because what he's done here has been fantastic.
Look, there's a lot of anger from Chelsea fans. Who are you waving at?
No, David Luiz was just waving to, I don't know if it was me, I just waved anyway. But
Nice. I think it was Leo, the floor manager. They go back a long way. Look, let's have a look at the goal. I want to have a look at the 2-1 goal. Then